Now then, back again, aren't I? With a WrestleMania 4 review. Now look at this bad boy. This was, I think, the only ever double VHS I ever got. This pay-per-view was so long. I thought the last one was long. This one was almost 4 hours long, and they had to put it onto two. You can see the case is broke at the top, which is a bit annoying because you can't really swap cases because there wasn't that many double VHSs around. So, yeah. Oh, this is just beautiful. I remember like seeing this a load of times when I was a kid, and I never had it until I was about 16 or something like that. And apparently my mum was walking past a charity shop, and that was just stood in the window like that. And my mum obviously knows I used to collect these like fucking nobody's business. And she saw them, and she rang me up and said, "Oh, they've got lots of wrestling videos here. Do you want some?" I was like, "What have they got?" And she told me down the phone what they had, and I told her all the ones that I didn't have. So she bought them all for me. I think they were only like £2 each or something like that. Imagine that, £2 for this. But even with that broken like that, I would pay like a tenner for this because it's just amazing. Like the sentimental value of just having this WrestleMania 4 on VHS. I'll blabber on for a minute about the actual VHS itself. But yeah, let's get into the review. For those of you who do not know, WrestleMania 4 came from the Trump Plaza in, I don't know where the Trump Plaza is, but basically the Trump Plaza, for anyone who doesn't know, is Donald Trump's little, is it a hotel or what, something? It's just like Donald Trump's little thing, and it really didn't suit the aesthetics just didn't really suit the occasion. Like, this is supposed to be WrestleMania. Last year in front of 90,000 people. This year in front of Donald Trump and his mates. Like, they were all sat around ringside, all in the suits, sat with their arms crossed. And I bet Donald Trump just phoned all of his mates and said, "Oh, do you want a bit of a laugh? I've got that WWE coming round here. They're paying me shitloads to do it here. Like, they're trying to look legitimate. Let's just all, do you want to come round and watch? So, yeah, I'll get you a ringside ticket." And him and his mates just all sat there like this. Arms folded, like, not really interested in the product, and it really hurt the product in my opinion. It hurts the pay-per-view because watching it as a fan, you want to relate to the fans who are there, and like the front row fans are the first fans that you see, and if they all just sat there like, and you're a bit like, "Oh, this is shit." So yeah, let's get into it. There's a big tournament. The title had just been made vacant because Ted DiBiase wanted to buy the title off Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan said, "No, I will not sell you my title, Ted DiBiase." And so Ted DiBiase said, "Oh, okay, Hulk Hogan, I'm going to go get Andre the Giant and I'm going to buy it off him when he beats you." Then Andre the Giant said, "Oh, you Hulk Hogan, I'm going to beat you and give Ted DiBiase my title." And Hogan said, oh no, Andre the Giant, I'm going to fight you." And Andre the Giant beat Hulk Hogan, and then Andre the Giant sold his title to Ted DiBiase, and Ted DiBiase said, "Lol, Hulk Hogan, I now have your title, lol." And then Jack Tunney came out and said, "Lol, I'm taking it off you." And that's basically what happened. So they said, right, the title is now vacant, and then the title is now going to be up in a massive tournament. So right, first match of the card, seeing as this is a massive tournament, you don't really need that many other matches on the card. This is something that I think they did wrong. They got it right later on with the King of the Ring concept, but this is a 16-man tournament, so there's supposedly 8 matches in the first round, although 2 of them were taken out because Hogan and Andre got byes, and then 4 in the next round, and again another one was buyed, and then 2 in the next round, 1 of them was buyed, and then 1 in the final. So yeah, let's get into it. First match was a Battle Royal. Now, why have a Battle Royal as the first match on the card? This could have just been the semi-main event after all these matches, but I'll talk about that later. So you had Bad News Brown winning the Battle Royal when him and Bret Hart are the last 2 left, and then Bad News turns on Bret Hart, chucks him over the top rope, and he's like, "Yeah, lol at you, I just chucked you out of the ring and I'm the winner." And then Bret Hart said, "Oh no, you bloody don't, you cheeky bloody scallop." Jumps in the ring, chucks him out, and then Bad News Brown had just been presented with this like 7-foot trophy. It was huge. So Bret Hart gets it and he breaks it. He struggles to break it, throws it out of the ring, breaks it. I'm beating you, I'm better than you. This is sort of like the Bret Hart face turn. Now we get into the title tournament. First match was Ted DiBiase, the heel, beating Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ted DiBiase had Andre the Giant with him at ringside, and Andre the Giant, I think, he punched Duggan in the face while the referee wasn't looking, and then Ted DiBiase ended up getting the win. Then we had Don Morocco versus Dino Bravo, and Don Morocco was such a bad wrestler. I don't know if I talked about it in the WrestleMania 3 review. I don't think I did, but Morocco was awful in this. Yeah, he was just terrible, and he ended up winning as well going through. And he had Superstar Billy Graham with him. They were both wearing the tie-dye, and I really felt sorry for Billy Graham, because Billy Graham, even at that time, had a cane with him, and this is like an ex-world champion, and it shows the problems with pro wrestling and steroid abuse to the body, that this guy was broken down like 20 years ago. 23 years ago, in fact. 24. Right, next match was Greg the Hammer Valentine beating Ricky Steamboat. Now, Ricky Steamboat had Richie Steamboat with him as well, his little kid. The little kid who was a baby, who's now in FCW, who is the future of wrestling. If you've ever seen him, or if you've never seen him even, go check him out. Richie Steamboat is the future of pro wrestling. Mark my words. Next, Valentine beat Steamboat. The winner of this was to face the winner of the next match, which was Macho Man Randy Savage, who beats Butch Reed. Now, Savage is going to face the winner of He's going to face Valentine, who beat Steamboat. This could have been Steamboat Savage again. I've heard people talk about this before, like, oh, it should have been Steamboat Savage again. Seeing as the match before, at WrestleMania 3, everyone loved it. I didn't love it, but if everyone else loved it, then why not do it 2 years in a row? I'll tell you why not, because they were both faces, and WWE didn't want to do that at the time. Next, they had the one-man gang beat Bam Bam Bigelow in a typical big guy versus big guy match. Nothing too exciting. Then we had Rick Rude drawing with Jake the Snake Roberts in a match that was disappointing, because the outcome was disappointing. I would have liked to see both of these guys go on further, because these guys were good workers. Rick Rude, fantastic guy, fantastic worker even. Those were all the first round matches. So the next round we've got Ted DiBiase versus Don Morocco, Greg Valentine versus Macho Man Randy Savage. The one-man gang gets a bye, and then Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan. Rematch from WrestleMania 3. Rematch from, was it Saturday night's main event where Andre had taken the title from him. The third in the trilogy. The final in part of the trilogy as well. But in between the rounds, we had Warrior now facing Hercules. Now again, we didn't need this. Like, Hulk and Andre was the next match on the card, and they'd not fought yet, so they could have easily gone straight after round 1. Gone straight into round 2, let's get straight into it, let's get this going. But they didn't. They had this Warrior-Hercules match. Warrior beat Hercules in pretty sharp time. This is Warrior's WrestleMania debut, that's all this is not known for really. Two big roided up bastards. And again, that was one of the main things I was thinking while I was watching this, was that this is the time when roids must have been running rampant in the WWE. All these guys are jacked. Like, honestly, these guys had more muscle in their little fingers than I've got in my entire body. And like, well, I'm not that muscly, but these guys were fucking ridiculous. Next up, we had Hogan versus Andre, the final part of the trilogy, like I said, and it ends in a draw because they both start using chairs on each other, I think it was. And I was like, I suppose it was a means to an end, but seeing as this is the final part of the trilogy, it doesn't look too good retrospectively. Next up we had DiBiase finally beating Don Morocco. Fuck off, Don Morocco, get out of the tournament, you are not a good wrestler. I respect you for being a wrestler, training your body to the point that you did, getting the roids, but not a good wrestler. DiBiase got the win, fantastic wrestler. Next up we had Savage Valentine. Savage beats Valentine, Savage is amazing, goes through. And because DiBiase had beaten Morocco, and because Hulk and Andre drew, that meant DiBiase was already through to the final because he gets a bye in the next round. And now, Savage beats Valentine, and he's going to face... Who's he going to face? Who is he going to face? Oh, Savage is going to face the one-man gang who got a bye from the last round because Rude and Roberts drew. Again, they could have gone straight into the semi-finals now, but no, let's have another 2 matches in the middle. Brutus Beefcake beat Honky Tonk Man by disqualifications with scissors and everything. He had him from last WrestleMania where he established himself with scissors. He has him, he's Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I'll tell you what, he might have been a not so great wrestler, but he really suited his gimmick and he really made me believe in him, and I was like, yeah, come on Beefcake, you beat Honky Tonk Man. That is a sentence no straight male should ever have to say. Anyway, Beefcake beats Honky Tonk Man by disqualification. Honky Tonk Man keeps hold of his title. Next up, we had the Islanders and Bobby Heenan beating the British Bulldogs and Coco Beware in a match that, by this point, honestly, the pay-per-view was overkill. I'd watched it in 2 different parts as well, and I was just a bit like, "Argh." Okay, I fucking love the Dynamite Kid. I love the British Bulldogs. Like I've said before, I'm not seen a lot of Dynamite Kid matches, but I've now seen 3 in a row on these pay-per-views, and he's not really done much within them. I wanted to pay more attention to this and more attention to him in this match, but he didn't really suit being the good guy. I think he suited being the bad guy a bit more. But I think they were trying to put him over as those nice smiling British boys. Oh, aren't they cute? I bet all the American girls were loving them. Anyway, that match was what it was. There was a storyline before that Heenan had abducted the little bulldog Matilda, and that's why the Bulldogs were upset with the Heenan and the Islanders. But yeah, the Islanders and Heenan got the win. Next up, Savage beats the one-man gang to get through to the final to face Macho Man Randy Savage. Now, next is the only match that, apart from the tournament, that needed to happen. And it was the Demolition versus Strikeforce for the tag team titles, and Demolition beat Strikeforce. And Strikeforce, to me, never had the chemistry that Rick Martel and Tom Zink had. Maybe because Rick Martel and Tito Santana weren't sleeping with each other. You never know. Anyway, Demolition, great tag team, one of my favourite tag teams of all time. Their first WrestleMania match, and they got a win. Great stuff. This is probably the last one of the boring WrestleManias, in my opinion. I can't really remember what happens on no, I think 5 may be one of the boring ones as well. But these early ones aren't that appealing to like current fans or me in general. Like, and I like the other stuff. Maybe like some people, like modern fans, probably would hate WrestleMania 6, but from like WrestleMania 6 onwards, I enjoy them. 7's a bit meh, but do you know what I mean? Like, they get enjoyable from that point. They get fun. So yeah, they beat them. Now it's the final. Savage versus DiBiase. DiBiase's got Andre on his side. And Macho Man has got the immortal Elizabeth. He's got Elizabeth. And DiBiase's got Andre the Giant. It looks ridiculous. It looks stupid. And all the way through the show, I might add, like before, they had celebrity involvement. They had Bob Uecker running around all over the place looking for this bird who was fit, to be fair, called Dana White. Dana White? No, Dana White's the guy who runs the UFC. Dana Vance? Maybe she was called Dana Vance. She was called something like that. I can't remember what her name was. Vanna White. That's what it was. She was called Vanna White. And she was pretty fit. Apparently she did the American version of Wheel of Fortune. And Bob Uecker's running around all over the place looking for her. And apparently this guy's Mr. Baseball. This guy used to be a quality baseball player. And he made himself look like a complete idiot for the sake of entertainment. And I really do appreciate that, because in the modern era of celebrity involvement in WrestleMania, they all get put over. Mayweather beat Big Show. Snooki got a pin last year. And it's just ridiculous that we're putting celebrities over the wrestlers. It makes the wrestlers look shit, and it makes people who come from outside to watch the celebrities think, well, why should I watch wrestling? Because my favourite bloody Jersey Shore slag has just beat the wrestlers. She's a better wrestler than the wrestlers. And it's just stupid. But Bob Uecker made himself look like a complete tool, which I really appreciated. I love the comedy aspects of it. And if you're not seeing it, go watch it. And there's a great visual of Andre getting his massive, meaty hands around his throat and just shaking him. I mean, an amazing visual. And again, Bob Uecker was like, can you take your foot off my shoulder, because Andre's got this massive fist on his shoulder. But yeah, and they were all involved in this match. I think Vanna White was the ring bell woman, and Bob Uecker was the ring announcer. Then we had Savage DiBiase, and it was a good match. And it ended when Lizzie ran to the back and went and got Hulk Hogan. I think Hulk Hogan ended up hitting DiBiase with a chair because Andre and DiBiase had been cheating. And then Savage goes to the top rope, comes down with that elbow. 1, 2, 3. Macho Man Randy Savage wins the World Heavyweight Championship for the first ever time. And not too bad for a guy who was one of the outcasts of the indie system, of the territory system, because he used to work an opposing show in Memphis. Not too bad that he became the guy in the WWE for a long time as well, because he held this title for around a year. Those are my thoughts on WrestleMania 4. Thank you for watching this, because I'm guessing like some people who watch this have never seen WrestleMania 4 and might not even have that much interest in this video, and I hope this video does get views, and I do want people to, if not go back and watch these WrestleManias that I'm talking about, at least learn like about what I'm talking about, and that like learn about what happened. Because don't get me wrong, the stuff I've probably said in this video is probably not 100% accurate, but it is like probably like good 90-95% accurate. Like obviously I was like, this was the last pay-per-view before I was even born, so I wasn't alive at the time. I can't say what was going on exactly because I don't know. But these pay-per-views I've been watching all my life, and I've been watching these things, and I've been watching the other pay-per-views, seeing how things advance. And you know, this is how you get your opinions on pro wrestling, isn't it? By watching older stuff. And I highly recommend that people go through these and watch them. Like I said, I might be chatting complete bollocks, so if I was, and if you do want to correct me on anything, let me know down here, let me know that I'm wrong, and I will thumbs up you. I'll mention you in another video, and I'll say, listen, you were right. Yeah, again, let me know what you think of the video down below, thumbs up, thumbs down and all that, and I've got to be out of here. Thank you very, very, very much for watching. Bye.